everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with my Freeze Friday layout share. And these layouts cover a little bit more than a week because I'm doing this on Sunday. I think I did this last one on Friday the 6th. Or let's see, I guess I did it Saturday the 6th. Anyway, there are 13 layouts here, and so I'll try to kind of go through them quickly. I kind of want to show you a couple I have in progress as well. This past weekend, or yesterday, I took the Layout Palooza class with Christina Sorge, and I made it. I had some Wi-Fi problems with the very first lesson, and then I got sick about a few lessons down the road, and so I still have quite a few to finish. I have quite a few more videos to go back and watch, but I plan today to finish the ones that I did get started on yesterday. So my first layout here is one that used this lift from the International Scrapbook Day lifts at Scrap Squad. And I did it for, again, with my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit, which is all, and that's true of all of these. It's my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit made specially for the Rediscover Your Stash spending freeze for the month of June. And I'm adding that to my already frozen status, and not just to not spend, but to try to use up everything I own by Vicki Boutin, because she is one of my exceptions to the freeze gang freeze. I am allowed to buy anything Paige Evans or Vicki Boutin during the length of the freeze. So I know that there's a new Vicki Boutin collection coming out there somewhere, so I wanted to use up as much as I could of everything. So I've committed to doing 2 layouts a day during the month of June, or I don't have to do 2 every day, but 60 for the month. So anyway, this was one that I did on the 6th. And I do have a video for this that's part of my Scrap Squad Sunday series. So that one's out there in the Scrap Squad Sunday playlist on my YouTube channel, which is Scrappy Kathy, which you know because you're here watching this video. This one is a sketch of the month from Christina Sorge that I did for Rediscover Your Stash and for the Secret Not Secret party, which was weekend before last and extended until last weekend. And I used an old Vicki Boutin background because that kind of looks like the flooring in the room, and I fussy cut this pattern from one of her pre-done mixed media pages, and then these are from an older collection, maybe All the Good Things. And someone, when I published this, someone said those look like pancakes, and I've joked that I've been hungry ever since, and I can't look at them now without seeing pancakes, so I thought that was funny. Okay, this one is one that uses, it's for a challenge in the Secret Not Secret party for stripes of color. That was the name of the challenge. And so I had, this is an acetate cover to one of the mixed media pads, not the pre-done ones, but the white wonderful mixed media paper. And so I used various stripes of color from Vicki Boutin collections and did this page with my 2 granddaughters hugging each other, and I kind of, as I stood behind them on graduation day. Okay, and let me see. I don't think there's a video for this one, no video for that one, and no video for the pancake one either. This one is another one for the Secret Not Secret party where we're to deep dive and do old supplies and new supplies. And this is about the oldest supply I have, and it's not even a supply. It's a this ladybug, and I put ladybugs on all of Katie Bug's pages. This ladybug was part of a hummingbird feeder that we were given in 2004 as a housewarming gift. And I dismantled it and I turned the little hook here into antennae. And it's, you know, it's the worse for wear, but it's vintage. And then these brads are all vintage as well. And this paper, the background paper, is from the newest Vicki Boutin pre-made mixed media collection. And this is from her previous collection to that, which is Wildflower and Honey. And then I've got, I just used decorative scissors, which are one of my oldest scrapbooking supplies, to cut scrap strips there. So there's that. This is one of my favorite pages. I did this for Christina Day, using one of the sketches that she put out there for as a challenge. She put out 10 page map sketches, and this was number 8 of those. And I filmed the assembly of this layout. It was easy peasy. And I used, all the supplies I used were from a previous Palooza. They're either scraps left over from projects I did, or they're the supplies for projects I did not do and didn't go back and watch the videos on. But that's not going to happen with this Palooza. I'm going to do every single project. And then Shannon Allor and I have decided that we're going to do a challenge accepted in July using all the scraps that she and I, that we each have left over from the projects that we did. So that's going to be kind of fun. And this one, there is a video, and it's out there under the Happy Christina Day playlist. Okay, this one is called Live a Colorful Life, or Hello Katie, and I did Hello Katie because this is a Hello Kitty bag she's bought. I kind of did a little trick with this one. I printed it in color and in black and white and the same size, and I cut out this purse and pop dotted it. I maybe should have lifted it up a little higher so you could tell the difference, but used lots of older Vicki Boutin stuff, including this really nice kind of herringbone. Barely can see the herringbone print on there. In any of the photos I took of it, you really can't see it, but it's gorgeous, and it matches the turquoise in here. So I love this page. I'm not sure why. It's wonderful to think that even at 18, Katie Bug still loves Hello Katie. Hello Kitty, rather. Okay, this one is for the paper lesson at Scrap Academy, and I was kind of experimenting to do different things with paper than I have done before. So this layout is made entirely of paper, although I did cheat and I used a shaped piece of ephemera for the title because New View is kind of appropriate for the photo subject. This is a filtered photo of the new lights and decor that Katie has put in her room. And I did these kind of like rolled up fireworks, and these kind of evoke fireworks, and the lights all kind of look like fireworks. And I used a color scheme, this color scheme, that was one of the challenges at Rediscover Your Stash, and I used this sketch. And there is no video. I don't have the ends circled, but there is no video on that one. I cut these holes out of the kind of starburst sort of paper here. I have a piece of it, this paper. And then I kept the strip of paper with the holes in it, and I'm going to try to back that on something. I love this paper. If I had like 500 sheets of this paper, I'd make all the rest of my layouts for the rest of my life out of some form of this paper. So maybe not. This one is one of my favorite layouts ever, and I have scrapped this photo before, but I hadn't filtered it this way, and I hadn't interpreted the page quite this way. This was for a Rediscover Your Stash, challenge. It's also solving a CSI case that had this carousel, and so that kind of spoke to me as a life is a carnival kind of mood, and it's also this was our mixed media frenzy layout for this past week, and so this came out live on Friday, and I love that it had these balloons and it had this little cluster here and a cluster here, and I replaced the balloons with butterflies and just kind of, but I did the same layers of scraps down here and scraps up there, and lots of goodies kind of spread all around. I've got something missing from it here. One of these little guys came off, so I'm going to have to cover that maybe with an enamel dot. What do you think? I think I can do that. Let's see. I'll use an enamel dot color that goes with it, but that I hadn't used before. How about that? Okay, there we go. Problem solved. And I'll put that aside. This is out there. I also need to correct something on my label here. I have challenge accepted, and this is mixed media frenzy. Okay. This one it was done for Jennifer Gagne. It was a lift from Jennifer Gagne, and it was done for this. Was her original. I also did it for a CSI case where I kind of was inspired by the color scheme, and I use it. The title of this is actually 2 Earrings and 1 Mullet, because they're exiting a jewelry store where Barrett had his ears pierced and 2 earrings installed, and his best friend Jack had just come from the barber where he's kind of cultivating a little mullet there. So go figure. I guess what goes around comes around. And so I typed this out in one of my favorite fonts on my computer. It says, alternate universe. In what universe do you expect to see Barrett with earrings and Jack with a mullet? So that one I don't think is filmed. That was done, and the lift was to celebrate Jennifer's 1,000 subscribers, and she's on YouTube as Kaezmum, Kaezmum. Okay, this one is my layout for, and this is exciting, guys. This was my first lesson at Scrap Academy. I taught a lesson about adhesives, and it was a rather extensive review of the 5 million different kinds of adhesives that I've accumulated over the years. And I went and pulled them from all their different storage locations. And then I tried to use as many as I could on this particular layout. There's medium. I use gloss medium and matte medium as an adhesive when I'm doing things like decoupage or trying to really paste things down into a single layer when I don't want there to be bridges between layers of things. And I also use it on top of the wings of butterflies or bees in this case, or flower petals, to kind of help curl them, to intensify the color, and to give them a little bit different sheen, so it kind of draws your eye to whatever that is. Then I use glossy accents on the bodies of insects, and I use some on top of this. This is a puffy sticker that was rather plain looking, and you actually couldn't see that those were pink flowers on a navy blue background, but once I put the glossy accents on there, it really intensified it. Same with these. I fussy cut the oh yeah from a card in some boy collection. Same with Boys Rule, although I think that might have been a sticker. And then I covered over it it was a flat finish. I covered over it with glossy accents just to kind of make it pop. And I used a thin strip of double-sided tape across here where the pom-poms are, and the pom-poms have kind of shrunken down, and they used to go entirely across the page. I showed how I clipped the little arms off of brads and turned them into flare buttons, and I used, in this case, I think I used a dimensional let's see, a dimensional glue dot. It's a Glue Dots brand. And then I used glossy accents over the dots in this pattern paper. Could have done it over one of the stripes or both, or maybe I could have accented a line in this text. There are a million ways you can do this. And instead of glossy accents, I used a glossy medium on top of this one. So I used a ton of different adhesives for different purposes here, and that's all shown in my very extensive class video at Scrap Academy, and I've put it out on YouTube. So, and I used this particular sketch that was another of the sketches that Christina put out for Rediscover Your Stash. This one is one that went live today. Ooh, I've lost a heart from, okay, here. And a little bit of wet glue will fix that. Anyway, this went live today, and it is both my Scrap Squad Sunday video, and it's part of a YouTube hop called Scrapping the World. And it's travel-themed pages from a group of scrappy friends who thought that since we can't, since travel is somewhat restricted now and we can't go anywhere physically, we can just take a walk down memory lane and talk about trips and share trips that we've taken elsewhere. So this one is a threefer. I did 3 challenges. First of all, this is the layout I lifted from Scrap Squad, and I loved it. It kind of said travel. As soon as I looked at it, I knew I was going to do a travel-themed layout, because these kind of, I envisioned these as luggage tags or plane tickets or something like that. And so I also used it to solve the CSI case number 321, which I don't have pictured here, but I didn't use their photo as color or image inspiration, but they were talking about having a solid white background and lots of texture. So I created texture with my kind of watercolory splotches here and lots of ink splatters. And then also these little dots are from, let's see if I have that particular bottle. It's the copper colored, and I hadn't ever seen these before. My wonderful friend Sharon Barrickman sent me a happy mail with several Nouveau crystal drops, and go figure, none of the ones she sent me did I already have in my stash. I have about 5 or 6 colors of this, and none of the ones that she sent me matched up with my color. So I thought these copper looking ones would make perfect dots there, and because they are raised up above these watercolor splotches and the ink splatters, it really kind of gives you a sense of texture. So that's how I solved that case. This one is in a video that's out today called, it's going to be under my Scrap Squad Sunday. I've got this, yeah, Scrap Squad Sunday. It's in that playlist. And this one, there's no video for, and neither is this one. And these two actually are not part of my Mercy Tiara or excuse me, my How to Kill a Kit with Style. A lot of the same people are in Mercy Tierra as in How to Kill a Kit with Style. This was the first lesson in Layout Palooza that Christina Sorge of Redefined Creative sponsors every so often, where she sends you pre-made kits that have lots of goodies in them, and then she makes a layout that you can follow along exactly the way she does hers, or you can lend your own interpretation. But in each one, you're learning a technique. Like this idea with the squares is just amazing to me. And you can see that I did mine wrong. They're supposed to go in order of darkness, and I cut my I have these two out of order. This one should be there, and this one should be here. And this one I did right. But I just loved the layout that she did. Now, she had small 3x3 photos. I had already printed this, and I was going to use it with this title from Bramble Fox, and the colors just went so perfectly here. And my Wi-Fi went out, so I actually couldn't see how she was finishing hers. So I just went ahead and, working with the size of my photo, I filled these in and then added these little strips of leftovers, added a glassine bag of goodies there, which I think I'm going to add some kind of word strip or something here. I don't think I'm done with this, and I'm going to slide it up under the paper clip so that I can so it looked like I'm clipping it there. So this one may not be absolutely finished. I have published it like this. I love putting sequins in these little glassine bags. And just so you know, these are the scraps that are left over from that project. She included enough sequins and enough glassine bags to do 2 on that layout, but since I only did 1, and then we did several a couple more of these, and then we have this blue and white polka dot, which is what I backed her little wood hearts with. And so there's a lot that I can do with these scraps on another layout. There's plenty there, and then I've even still got some sequins left. So that's cool. This next one used the Vicki Boutin Let's Wander collection, which I absolutely love, and I have not used this paper yet because I am madly in love with it. I messed up the instructions. The template that we made for this had it upside down, so I end up having these 2 prints next to each other, which wasn't the ideal design there, but I kind of don't mind it. And this added a lot of green that we pick up in this green strip here. And I had this cute little picture of Barrett walking to the beach, carrying his boogie board, which was bigger than he was at the time. And I messed up here where it didn't quite come to the edge of the page when I cut these out. And so I added like a tab of that green paper that's on the other side of the floral, the terrazzo tile looking paper. And then I did a little cluster down here. She showed us a neat technique for turning 1 tag into 2, and then decided to use them both on the layout. So I love this layout. I especially love this photo. I must have scrapped that in a Project Life page, and from that project we've got a few leftovers here, and I'm going to put these directly into my Mercy Tierra kit since they're Vicki Boutin, and I can use them. I have others, but we made this little card. We just put little strips on there and then cut out some flowers, and I like it so well. I'm going to do some journaling in here, and I'm going to feature this envelope and the flower and the card on it on a layout. And so I'm going to put it in here, and all of this goes into my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit that's all Vicki Boutin based. And I've got this scrap, and you might think I'm crazy for this scrap, but I can fussy cut this bit of a pink flower and these blue flowers and this yellow flower, and I can, and maybe even one of these leaf sprigs, and I can layer those underneath other flowers, or even, you know, in addition to the flowers I have on this card, because this orange one is just a bitty piece of an orange flower. So that goes there. And just to give you a little bit of a preview, I have a sketch here that I want to do. This has 4 photos in it, and this is an 8.5 by 11, so when I expand it to 12 by 12, I'll have a little bit more. And I'm gonna pull, I saw a layout, I forget who did it, where she used a background sheet that was maybe this color, or maybe a different, but kind of an aqua, oh, maybe this color right here, a pool color, swimming pool water color. And then right behind where the photos go, she did some, it was a design team member for shimmers, and she'd used various shimmers products to make a really nice watery wavy kind of background, and then set her photo cluster on top of that. So I'm going to try to adapt that somewhat. I don't have those pool pictures. I've pulled this out, so I'm going to use it somewhere sometime. I've got these photos printed. This one I love. It's a my shadow taking a photo of Katie's decorated cap for her cap and gown. And these are my 3 granddaughters in front of the house on graduation day. Allie's my step-granddaughter, and Katie and Ava are my granddaughters, but they've all 3, Allie's been calling me grandma since she was 4, so she's a granddaughter by choice. I like this picture of the fence at the high school when we did the drive-through graduation, class of 2020, and the zeros are toilet paper, so I thought I'd add that somehow. I've got some, I know how I'm going to use these 2 photos. They're going to be in one of the unfinished layouts that I did, and I kind of played around with some filters on some of my flowers in the garden. I love this picture of Ava with the Atlanta Braves. I think I put that out somewhere. My son posted this, survived leukemia and COVID. And this is a picture of Ava showing off her pretty nails and her tennis shoes from back before the lockdown. A whole series of soccer pictures, and I'll use that in a double. And then here's just a silly one of the girls out in the front yard on graduation day, and Katie and James going through. This is how we decorated. There's a lot of scrapbooking going on even on the trucks there. So anyway, those are things I'll be working with this next week. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed seeing these. And let me see if I can show you these unfinished ones. This one I can't wait to do. This one was so cute. The page came pre-cut with those hexagons, and we did these little wood veneer gears there. So I'm going to try to find a cute little picture of Barrett. I have the word awesome in this same font, and these came in my kit. So it's going to say so awesome. We used scraps to make a little up banner at the top of the page. Not sure what photo I'm going to use here, but I love these colors, and I think I'll have some fun with that. So not sure if those, and then look at all the other goodies that are in there from classes that I missed. So because I had to call in sick. So again, thanks for watching. I'll look for you next week. Bye.